And unfortunately, Kucherov just said nothing. But we'll talk about that later. I want to get into something that actually makes me happy. How about the Tampa Bay Rays? They actually look like they care when they're on the baseball field. Unlike Kucherov, who clearly doesn't care. How do you go up there? I know I'm going to change the topic, but I'm just so bothered by this. How do you go up there and not say one quotable thing? Everyone that has spoken has been quoted on social media except one guy. The guy we want to hear what he has to say more than any other player, and that's Cooch. You want to talk when we're winning, number one BS. But like in the playoffs, when it comes time to speak, a ghost. We'll come back to this. I teased the topic. I got to get into it. That's my number one thing that I hate doing, teasing something and then don't get into it because you deserve better. So yesterday there was a huge injury, and some of the text line already got it because they're already sending their names. There was a huge injury in Major League Baseball. Tarik Skubal for the Detroit Tigers has, what is it, loose bodies is what they call it?
Loose bodies in his elbow.
What exactly is loose bodies in the elbow? Is that like fluids?
That would be my best guess. I have no freaking clue.
Now, the team doctors said that he would be out from anywhere from 6 weeks to 6 months. I mean, I could be a doctor with that diagnosis.
I saw 2 to 3 months.
I saw 6 weeks to 6 months. That was that was put out by Detroit media. And Curt Schilling also tweeted that he had this done and he pitched 17 days later. So I don't know what Curt Schilling was on, but he must be on something that Skubal isn't. But when I saw that news, my first thought was probably should have traded him last year. And you didn't. See, that's the day. And I had this argument with my brother over the weekend because I told him. He's a big Tigers fan. I said they should trade Skubal if the team is not in contention at the deadline. I said they probably should have traded him last year. That's what makes the Rays so good, because if they had Skubal, they would have flipped him, and they would have got a haul for him. They don't just let him walk. Anyways, the topic, though, that I want to do. When I saw that Skubal went down, I immediately just thought their chances are done. They're not even that good with him. And now they're not going to possibly have him maybe ever again. And they're not going to get anything for him. And I think that their World Series hopes just dashed. And they had a good chance to win. Now, they haven't played their best baseball. They got some guys out. I think they had an opportunity to turn it around. But without Skubal, they're done.
I guess loose body is a bone chip floating around the elbow.
Okay, that doesn't sound good. Is that what that caller just said to you?
Exactly.
I love our listeners. They'll call in and give you the information and then just hang up. I appreciate that.
That's so good.
So he's got a bone floating around in his elbow. Can't be good. So he's done for a long time. I think that their chances of winning the World Series are over. Now, after seeing that, I start thinking about, all right, who's that player for the Tampa Bay? Who is our Skubal? And it doesn't have to be a pitcher. It can be a hitter. What I mean by who's our Skubal is who is our most important player, because he's their most important player. He's the best pitcher in baseball, and they no longer have him. Who is our Skubal here in Tampa Bay? That one guy, if he goes down, you're like, even though we're 20-12 and we're in a good spot, we're playing really great. If we lose that one guy, our hope of what this season could be goes out the window. The one player that I believe this team cannot lose is Yandy Diaz. And I went back and forth with this. And just like my last topic, I tested this one out in the building. I got about 7 different names, which is a really good problem to have if you're the Tampa Bay Rays, because they got so many weapons right now. They're just playing so well. And Tim and I both have a different answer. But I went with Yandy Diaz. And I went back and forth on this. And I'm like, can it really be Yandy? He doesn't play defense. And I'm like, it has to be Yandy, because I think the entire Rays offense is built around a guy like Yandy Diaz. He's what keeps the wheels on the track. When he's on fire, the rest of the lineup is on fire. He's got elite on-base ability. He literally sets the table for everything the Rays want to do offensively. Yandy is top 10 in the league in on-base percentage. And on the Rays alone, he's top 3 in literally every hitting category. On base percentage, top 3. Batting average, top 3. And he's actually number 1. Hits, top 3. Home runs, top 3. Slugging percentage, top 3. Walks, top 3. You can't afford to lose that guy. You have to have Yandy Diaz in this lineup, or I'm like, there goes the hope that I had for this team. Now, I think there's a couple players that would make you feel that way on the Rays, but for me, it's Yandy Diaz. I could have said Junior. Yeah, I think Junior's fantastic, but, 2 outs, bottom of the 9th. Look, I love Junior Caminero. He's got the highest ceiling on the team, but 2 outs, bottom of the 9th. I got a runner on, and I'm down by, or it's an even game, or down by 1. I need a hit to score a run. I want Yandy Diaz up at the plate. He's my number 1 guy. He's the guy that I trust the most on this team. It's a lineup without many true feared hitters. He's the closest thing to a dependable anchor in the lineup. But in that situation, he's the guy I trust the most. His discipline fits the Rays' identity perfectly. He'll grind pitchers down. He'll raise a pitcher's pitch count. He just does so many things. And again, I kind of question it because he doesn't play defense, but I'm like, I could say Junior, but he's not the greatest defender either. I wanted to say Taylor Walls. I just want to say they're much better with Taylor Walls than without him.
Easy.
They are. What's their record with Taylor Walls? It's damn good. What have they lost, like 3 times since he's been playing? Taylor Walls is the difference. By the way, anytime he gets a hit, I get a text from everybody. I got one from you last night. Taylor Walls.
Yeah, well, he drove in 2 runs.
He did. Yeah. They were big runs.
They were big runs.
Even the text line already kind of going crazy. A lot of different names. Would love to get some Rays fans on the phone. This is one of those topics where I got to talk to you because otherwise I'm just talking to myself. 888-388-0957. Who is our Skubal? And again, it doesn't have to be a pitcher. It can be somebody on offense too. But who's that player that if we lose, we're like, damn, don't feel good about our chances? Because that's what Tigers fans are feeling. Skubal, done. Tigers, done. They just became sellers. Unless he somehow does come back in the 6 weeks. I just don't see it happening. Now, somebody did text in and say that they had the surgery done and then they were bowling 6 weeks later. I don't know if it's the same thing or not. I don't think you're throwing a bowling ball 100 miles an hour. Could be wrong. Bowling ball's a little bit heavier than a baseball, so maybe it is the same thing, but I know it's not, but who is the guy? Tim, who's the guy for you that, if you saw that he went down, like who's our Skubal?
My guy's Shane McClanahan.
You are going to go pitching, okay.
I'm going pitching because, listen, Shane is supposed to be the ace of this team. Now, has he performed like it? No, not necessarily, but
he's been all right.
He's been good, but again, that's because he's coming back. He missed last season, so I understand that, and I think he's on the path and trajectory to become that ace. Now, if he, God forbid, does go down at some point this season, it's almost like an extra gut punch because you missed him last season. You're gonna, if he does go down, God forbid, you're gonna miss him this season. It's just, I think the morale of losing McClanahan again would ruin this team.
Yeah, and look, the last couple of years were 2 of their worst years in recent memory, and he wasn't there. So I don't look again. This is another topic that I don't think has a right or wrong answer. It is strictly opinion based. Again, when I did this topic, tested it out in the hallways just to make sure, because the topic's never good if you just get the same answer over and over. And when I put this topic out in the hallway to people that work here and other radio stations, I got a million different answers. Nobody had the same answer. I had Chandler Simpson fans. I think Chandler's a tremendous weapon for this team. And the text messages have a lot of different answers as well. I would say Yandy Diaz probably leading the way on the text line. But let's talk about it. Who is the Skubal for the Rays? Tiger season ended when Skubal went down. Who is the one player on this team we absolutely cannot lose? And I'm not trying to manifest anything bad. Who is that guy for the Rays. I think it's an interesting conversation because, believe it or not, despite what we thought coming into the year, they're really talented. They got a lot of guys that contribute to this team. But for me, it is Yandy Diaz because I just think he contributes in just such a different way. I mean, being top 10 in the league in on-base percentage, and by the way, he's been the most consistent hitter over the last couple of years. To bat over 300 multiple years in a row in today's day and age is not easy to do. You know, this isn't the 70s where everybody batted 300. It's a different game these days. And again, Junior Caminero has the highest ceiling, I know. But if you had to tell me, I don't even want to say what I was about to say. I was going to say, if you had to tell me I had to be without one, I just, again, I don't want to be without either. But Yandy, to me, he's more important. Gets on base when you need him most.